Islam. He's going to be fighting JDM for that title. How do you see the fight playing out?
Man, I've been high on JDM for a long time. You know, his boxing's always impressed me. But at this point, I feel like Islam's moving up a weight class at the right time. His body's just going to grow into it. He's going to be incredibly powerful. And I just think Islam's all-round game is so problematic for any single fighter. And I can see him probably winning with a kicking advantage, but then his grappling and his wrestling taking over. Probably winning by sub in the championship rounds.
Charles Oliveira had the MMA world buzzing when he opened up about what he had seen in Jack Della Maddalena.
Maddalena, ele é jogo muito complicado, porque ele é cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem te magoando, né? Aos poucos, né? Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal.
Having dealt with Islam Makhachev's suffocating ground game himself, Oliveira carried first-hand experience that gave weight to his words. What impressed him most about Jack was his calm, disciplined approach and his ability to chip away at opponents over time with sharp, consistent striking. Oliveira believed that if Jack could stretch the fight into the later rounds, he might give Islam a type of challenge the Dagestani champion hadn't really faced before.
Quem que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é jogo muito complicado, porque ele é cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem te magoando, né? Aos poucos, né? Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
As Oliveira's words spread, others in the fight game began weighing in. Javier Mendez, Makhachev's longtime coach, didn't hesitate to give Maddalena credit where it was due. He recognized Jack's grappling abilities and noted the Australian had even brought in Craig Jones, but Mendez wasn't losing sleep over that. From his point of view, having Khabib Nurmagomedov guiding Makhachev's wrestling camp gave his team the ultimate edge. For him, no coach in the sport could compare to Khabib when it came to preparing someone to neutralize an opponent on the mat.
He can hurt you with anything. He can hurt you with a kick, a knee, left hook, right hand, right uppercut, left hook, you name it. The guy's got the total arsenal to be able to put you down. So I am definitely fully aware of what he can do. And also the longer it stands, there's always a good chance he's going to get hit, we're going to get hit. So the longer it stands, the worse it can get for somebody. At some point or another, guys like this, they're both volume kind of, precision strikers. So, we just have to make sure that he doesn't land any of the bombs, and it could happen because of the way he does it. He's not a one type guy. He's a 1, 2, 3, 4 type, then rechambers and comes back again, and he'll switch his style. While he's punching you, he's switching. So you're going from orthodox to southpaw, back to orthodox, all ball striking. And that's extremely impressive. Very, very impressive. I'm extremely impressed with them. And obviously, when I say I'm extremely impressed by them, that means I better work even harder because we actually have a real opponent. And we have to make sure we get everything right because this is the individual that can make our night a very bad night if we don't do our homework, and I'm definitely doing my homework.
Yoel Romero then added his perspective, pointing to the well-rounded nature of Maddalena's skill set. He saw more than just a striker. Romero noticed Jack's conditioning, cage awareness, and ability to stay composed in difficult spots. To him, Jack had already shown he could stand his ground against top grapplers, citing his short-notice fight with Bilal Muhammad as proof. That performance, in Romero's view, highlighted that pressure rarely broke Jack, even under the most challenging circumstances.
Yoel Romero gives his honest take. Yoel Romero just shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, and it's a must-hear. Romero believes that Maddalena, while being a big 170-pounder, might face a tough challenge against Makhachev's superior grappling. Do you think Jack's striking can beat Makhachev's grappling?
Max Holloway was just as intrigued but focused on another quality: fight IQ. He felt Jack's ability to make adjustments during the heat of battle was what truly separated him from the pack. Holloway believed that in a clash against someone as tactical as Makhachev, this kind of adaptability could play a major role. He thought the fight was compelling because both men had that unpredictable factor, making it one of the most exciting matchups of the entire year.
How do you think Islam versus JDM goes down?
Honestly, I think Islam will probably take it down. Islam's wrestled really good. Even with me, whenever I really commit to it,
I took it down. Their team's so good at like hacking at game plan and sticking to it.
You said that you kind of abandoned the game plan a little. You think if you got a rematch, you would change the game plan a bit?
No, I mean, honestly, I think I won three rounds, but you have to go out there and make it more clear. When you get into the cage and you're fighting, right, you get into that, all right, I feel like striking. Let's keep going. I was doing well with it. Let's keep going. If your coach is trying to get you to focus on the game plan again, it's like, man, I'm doing well with it. You're thinking you're doing better than you are. Every fight, you gain something from it, right? This fight, I gained something from it.
Colby Covington took things in a more physical direction. He pointed out that Islam was stepping up to welterweight, meaning he would no longer enjoy the size advantages that often worked in his favor at lightweight. Even so, Covington leaned toward Islam because of how seamlessly he blended striking with grappling. Still, he admitted there was no guaranteed result here. The uncertainty, he said, was exactly what made the matchup so fascinating.
Islam versus JDM. What do you make of that? Islam moving up to now welterweight.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
On the flip side, Demetrius Johnson, widely regarded as one of the greatest fighters ever, wasn't as uncertain. He made it clear he viewed Islam as the likely winner, praising his ability to push forward, set the pace, and mix up striking with takedowns in a way that overwhelmed nearly everyone. Supporting Johnson's take, MMA Guru argued that while Jack might have moments of success, Islam's relentless pressure would eventually take its toll. For Guru, the combination of wrestling and power striking was simply too much for anyone, including Madalena, to handle for 5 rounds.
Who you got? Islam.
I've got Makhachev.
I got Makhachev as well.
And I've got Makhachev second round TKO with a knee and
Oh, yeah, you going bad rounds.
Yeah, I think he'll shoot a couple takedowns. Ilya will stuff it. Ilya will catch him a few times and people will go ooh and ah. And then when they clash again, I think Makhachev will go grab him. Yep. Ilya will think, oh, he's shooting again. Tie clinch, bang, yep. Body, knee to the head. Ilya's all of a sudden stumble, downhill from there. I think he beats Oliveira with a body shot though.
Meanwhile, Sean Brady came to Madalena's defense. He felt people weren't giving the Australian enough recognition. Being on the mat, he constantly scrambled back to his feet. On top of that, the physical strength he carried at welterweight posed a completely different challenge than the opponents Islam had dominated at lightweight. Brady remembered how Madalena troubled Bilal Muhammad even on short notice, showing his ability to neutralize control and reset fights on his own terms.
Speaking of the Islam and Jack fight, what are your early thoughts on that fight?
I think it's a lot tougher of a fight for Islam than people are giving Jack credit for. Like, Jack's very hard to hold down. He's a big body, hits like a freight train, has knockout power, and he showed, like, yeah, you can getting someone down doesn't mean dick. Can you hold them down? Jack's really good at creating scrambles, getting back to his feet, separating hands. Like, we've seen that with Bilal. Gilbert did better at taking Jack down than Bilal did. He had better positions on him, but yeah, I don't know. Selfishly for me, I would want Islam to win because I want to fight Islam as for a legacy thing. And I think I can beat Islam. I think I can beat anybody in the world. And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, and I know Jack would be the underdog, I would pick Jack.
Daniel Cormier, who had trained with Islam for years, noticed how much his former teammate's body had transformed in preparation for welterweight. He praised Jack for his rise in balance and skills, but admitted he was confused by the betting lines. In his eyes, the fight was much closer than the odds suggested, which only fueled more excitement for fans looking forward to the event.
It's officially happening. And if you've seen videos and pictures of Islam lately, he's much bigger than he was before. And he's gonna have to be bigger if he wants to get through the monster that is Jack Della Maddalena. I can listen to the words that Khabib speaks publicly, that Islam speaks publicly, and acknowledge of how good Jack Della Maddalena is. He's so tough, he's so big, he's so physical, and now he's got takedown defense to match. I believe that if you would have put this fight together a few years ago, people would have been like, oh, Islam's gonna kill Jack Della Maddalena. But now, after watching him fight Bilal Muhammad, it's a much more even fight. Because at the end of the day, Islam is still the smaller guy going up to the next weight class to fight against a world champion who never looked better.
Let's see who wins this.
Israel Adesanya chimed in with a perspective drawn from his own battles with wrestling-heavy opponents. He felt Jack's path to victory hinged on keeping the fight upright and breaking Islam's rhythm with well-timed striking. At the same time, Adesanya acknowledged that Islam's ability to switch gears made him a constant danger. He emphasized that Jack would need absolute concentration from start to finish because one slip could give Islam the opening to drag the fight to the ground.
Della versus Islam. How are we feeling about that?
I think Della is going to get it done. I feel from talking to Tim and also seeing Della, and also I've only spotted Della once, like not really hard crazy, but and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's
even
good
watching him
scrambles.
with Bilal as well, and Gilbert Burns. His scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, oh shit, I'm standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well. He's solid. So I really
Dense, man, just dense.
Dense, yeah. Like when I felt, like I said, we're sparring, and then it's just a weight behind it, and the way he throws it, the body banging, man, fucking good.
Gilbert Burns highlighted another factor often overlooked: weight cuts. For Burns, Islam's move to welterweight could actually help him, as he would no longer be drained by harsh weight cuts. However, he balanced by pointing out that Jack wasn't walking into the fight without serious backup. With minds like Craig Jones and Volkanovski behind him, Madalena had tactical advantages that could not be ignored. Burns felt this was far from a one-sided affair.
Islam's working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he'll not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Jack Hermanson offered a thoughtful take of his own. He believed Islam was possibly the best lightweight in the division, but he wasn't sure the same dominance would carry over to a bigger division. At the same time, he acknowledged Jack's impressive win over Bilal Muhammad as a sign of rapid progress. However, Hermanson stopped short of placing Madalena in the elite category just yet, suggesting he needed more big wins to truly cement that status.
Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, you know, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. It's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. Yeah, we need to see a few more fights with Jack. It looked amazing against Bilal, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good.
Philip Rowe took a bolder stance, throwing his support entirely behind Jack. He argued that Madalena's size and power would overwhelm Islam, who in his view simply didn't have the frame to compete with larger welterweights. Rowe envisioned a scenario where Jack's efficiency and strength proved too much, allowing him to end the fight before it even reached the scoreboards.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man?
Chilling.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight, you've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in a fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
Robert Whittaker, another Australian fighter, backed his countryman with confidence. He praised Jack's composure and his ability to control striking exchanges. For Whitaker, the key wasn't stopping every takedown but preventing Islam from fully dictating the pace. He emphasized the importance of determination and adaptability, especially when defending a belt in front of home fans.
Because I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. Yeah. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back.
Sean O'Malley zoomed out from the fight itself and looked at the bigger picture. He suggested that the matchup had implications beyond titles, potentially setting the stage for blockbuster future fights, including Islam against Ilia Topuria. O'Malley also noted that Jack carried a chaotic edge that could flip fights in an instant. He believed that if Jack defended takedowns and created striking space, the bout could turn unpredictable quickly.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Bilal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Big belt. We'll give him that.
Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
Dustin Poirier, who had fought Islam himself, offered a more technical perspective. He acknowledged Makhachev's striking effectiveness, but noted that it came from awkward angles that a sharp boxer could exploit. Poirier believed Jack's best chance was to set the tone early, defend the initial takedowns, and force Islam to fight on the back foot. For him, the opening rounds would be decisive in determining how the fight unfolded.
Yeah, for real. Do you think he beats Jack Della Maddalena?
I think we'll find out first, second round how much trouble he has getting him down. I think if he gets those takedowns, he's gonna get the win. If Jack can stop those takedowns, which he does have good takedown defense, I think the boxing and the size could wear on Islam and give him some problems. But his striking's, awkward and different. You have to worry so much about the takedown. You can't plant your feet and throw off those number combinations and really rip and sit on your punches, because he's going to change levels. So it changes the way you fight. Well, for me, it did. I'm speaking from experience. So we'll see how Jack approaches and how Jack executes out there. But if you're worried about takedowns, your shots are different. You're not sitting on everything and standing in front of the guy. You're trying to move and be light on your feet. I think the first 2 rounds will tell us how this fight's going to go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if he wins and Ilia wins, because Ilia's also saying this week he wants to go up to welterweight if he wins this, which, as you said, would stall out the division further. I don't think the other lightweights want that, but I couldn't imagine 5'7" Ilia fighting at 170.
As opinions poured in from all corners, one thing was clear: this fight had captured the imagination of fighters, coaches, and fans alike. From Oliveira's early comments about Jack's potential to challenge Islam in the later rounds, to Cormier's surprise at the wide betting odds, to the contrasting takes of legends like Johnson and Hardy, the narrative kept building. Some saw Islam's Roman dominance continuing without interruption, while others envisioned Jack's striking and resilience creating the upset of the year. No matter the stance, the consensus was that this clash at welterweight was one of the most unpredictable and exciting fights in recent memory.